What's going on, gamers? PKing Idiots here, and surprise, today is the day that EDP has finally apologized for his actions. He's taken full responsibility for the cupcake incident that happened about 2 years ago, and he's stepped up to the plate to clear everything up. So, in case you've forgotten, EDP was involved in a cupcake sting incident where they were attempting to find people who were trying to have adult relations with a minor. And during the sting operation, basically it was revealed that there were multiple instances with him where, you know, these relationships were trying to be formed, which is pretty messed up, as any normal person would believe. You know, that's not something any normal adult would do. So he's, in case you haven't kept up with him, he's come back to the interwebs every now and then, and his little success due to people knowing what he did and recognizing who he was. I think he tried to drive for Lyft or Uber as well and got his account like suspended because a bunch of people reported him because they knew who he was. A bunch of videos coming out. Basically, he couldn't get a job or do anything because of his previous history, which makes sense, you know? I think it's a very natural reaction if you recognize the person who's driving you around as someone who's involved in not so great things, to report them to the authorities and probably feel kind of good once their account gets terminated. Makes sense, you know. I haven't been on the other side of that coin personally, but I would probably do the same thing. So he's come out with a video talking about the sting operation, and he's even claimed before, like in previous videos, that he was actually in on the entire thing and didn't realize it was going to be used as like a legitimate YouTube video or operation. Like, he's claiming that he was in on the whole thing and none of it really matters and it's all irrelevant. In recent apology videos, allegedly. But in this newest video, EDP has actually talked about the times he's almost unalived himself. And he's thankful that his friends and family were there to support him, and even some of his more loyal fans were there to support him through these trying times over the past 2 years, where he just didn't want to deal with it anymore. And the easiest way out, you know, he was going for it, man. But he was convinced to stick it out and has decided to go for a character arc where he attempts to redeem himself. I guess we'll see how that goes, right? So he stated in the video, the apology video, multiple times that he takes full responsibility for his actions. However, he never actually outright says what he did, or outright takes responsibility for his actions. It's more or less him feeling bad for the people around him that he's affected because of this, and more or less the backlash and death threats and harassment his friends and family have gotten, and even other content creators for being associated with him, which I think is a pretty normal human reaction. You don't want to see those around you suffering for your actions, especially when they weren't even involved with them necessarily. So I can't fault him for that. He does seem very genuine when he talks about it. But again, he never outright comes and says what he did was wrong, or what he was trying to do, or what it looked like he was doing even. And part of that's because he spent a lot of time talking with lawyers about what he should say or what he can say on the video, and they've advised him obviously not to admit to anything, which also makes sense. However, I feel like if you're going for sort of a redemption character arc, you have to start with just coming clean and admitting your intentions and what you did was wrong, even if it lands you some jail time, right? Like, heard about people turning themselves in all the time over other criminal activities. Maybe not so serious, maybe even more serious than this. But I think those are the true people that are going for that redemption character arc, and I think if EDP truly wants to set all of this behind him, I don't know what the maximum sentence is for that, necessarily, or what he could get, but I think if he really wants to clear his conscience and get that redemption character arc, he has to fully admit to what he was trying to do and come to terms with it. I know he in the video also states that he's been reaching out for help to get his mind right, because he knows, or at least he understands, that he's not fully there, which is interesting, but also true, because no normal, average thinking man would want to do this or find themselves in even a similar situation. The video specifically, he states that he takes full responsibility for all of the YouTube shit, you know? Again, not admitting what he did, what he was caught doing, taking responsibility. Just saying, you guys already know what it was, you guys already know what happened. And I take full responsibility for that, which is just a cop-out, but again, he talked to lawyers about what he could say and what he couldn't say while making the apology video. So the statement makes sense, because he doesn't want an admission of guilt, go to jail. He's trying to save his own skin, but also come back to the internet and prove that he's a decent human being. He stated that he has multiple times reached out to try and get help to get his mental state corrected, and continues to bring up the pushback from his friends and family had received from the public during this time, while the accusations were present and after the release of the information. And it seems like he is genuine when he apologizes to his friends and family. However, he doesn't directly apologize to those affected by the situation he found himself in. Therefore, the apology video is just a load of baloney, honestly, and it's just him trying to save face so that he can come back to the internet and try to make something of his life. I guess we'll wait and see what he does to achieve this anime character redemption arc, but, you know, obviously things can never return back to the way that they were, and I think it's going to be a very long and rough road for him to get back to being seen as even a decent human being. So, yep, that's it.